That's the sound guy. Hello!
Wait, we weren't live.
Da, 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 da. This is why the audience is not using them. All right, let's get ready for our first act.
Woo woo.
Woo woo!
I do believe he is a comedian.
He's a comedian, and his name is Scott Aber.
Thank you very much. Do we have any fans of the movie Grease in the house? All right. You know, the little bit of trivia about Grease, they had to blur out the Coke posters in the diner scenes because they had a Pepsi deal. Nobody told the set decorator. They've since been corrected. They are now Pepsi, but speaking of product placement in that movie, I'm still looking for this cream that's apparently called Fitchixel that Danny mentions 3 times during Grease Lightning. You are supreme, Fitchixel cream. I'm still looking for that stuff. No idea, no idea. You know, Greasers had a great fashion sense. Something I love about them, I'm sporting it right now, the belt buckle to the side. Apparently there were 2 main reasons Greasers used to do that. Number one was if they were a guitar player, they didn't want to scratch the guitar when they're playing on stage. The other reason was if they were a mechanic, they didn't want to scratch the paint job on the car. Personally, I'm a hefty guy, as you can see, and I find I'm able to tighten my belt comfortably and still breathe when I sit down with the buckle on the side. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And you know, when you're a little kid watching TV shows, you don't realize all the fakeness of a TV show. I grew up watching the sitcom What's Happening? And the little sister was, of course, always extorting money from her brother. Always figuring things up on this calculator. The prop they used was actually a toy called the Little Professor Calculator. It gave you math problems and 3 shots at answering the problem correctly before it would tell you the answer if you got it wrong too many times. But she used this as if you were using a regular calculator. You know, I looked high and low for that version of the Little Professor Calculator. That does not exist. Oh, boy. I grew up in the Just Say No era, and I never left. So I live a pretty sober life. I'm not much of a drinker. I don't even know what weed smells like, to be honest with you. But that actually sometimes puts me at a disadvantage because I have no scapegoat for the crazy shit I do. It's just me. Just me being my crazy little self. A show that I grew up on and still love to this day is Little House on the Prairie. And you know, they dealt with some pretty controversial topics on that show, including alcoholism and drug addiction. Because it was set slightly post-Civil War, the drug addiction was always morphine. Every time somebody was addicted to a substance on Little House, it was morphine. So when I was in the hospital and offered morphine, I went, I don't think so. No morphine for me. I work as a DJ. I do weddings,